Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review, and boy, what a review do I have in store today. I have been waiting in anticipation to review this anime. Today's review will be on the winter 2017 anime Kuzu no Honkai, or Scum Wish. Those of you that follow me on social media have seen numerous posts of me about Kuzu no Honkai, and damn do I want to review this anime, so let's get right into it. Where do I even begin this review? There is so much to tell. So let's simply start with the first episode. I think that everyone, literally everyone who was watching this first episode, watched it with his mind blown. Holy shit, that first episode. The least I can say is that it immediately set the tone for the rest of the anime. Like, what's the climax of a romance anime in 95% of the cases? That would be either a confession or a kiss all the way at the end of the anime. But Kuzu no Honkai took this cliche and pushed it down the drain. To see our two main characters engage in sexual activities in the very first episode was just truly mind-blowing. That first episode has to be one of the strongest first episodes that I have seen in my career, and from then on I knew that this anime would be pure gold. I have seen some animes before that deal with sexuality. They're rare, but I have seen a few, but none of them came close to the dark and lust-driven atmosphere that was so eminent in Kuzu no Honkai. The fact that our characters, and not only the main ones, have sex not because they love each other, but simply to engulf themselves into their lust and their sexual desires, made this anime unique. Never before have I seen an anime that deals with the dark side of romance and just giving in to your primitive emotions of lust. And on top of that, this anime shows how these desires can destroy not only yourself mentally, but also the ones around you. The arc about Hanabi and Ibato was the perfect example of that. Love can destroy friendships, especially if the love is as toxic as many of the romances were in this anime. And this destruction brings me to the characters. The English title of this anime is Scum Wish, and truly the characters in this anime are true scum. I think the only character that stays relatively good is Narumi, but all the other ones are truly despicable. The way how they use people as objects to fulfill their desires make that you can hate every character in this anime, which to me, Akane in the lead, that bitch just deserved to die. But the psychology of the characters was so interesting, and you know that I love psychological animes. Which brings me to the difference between Hanabi and Mugi in the second part of the anime. What I'm about to tell is a spoiler, but you know it will happen somewhere in the anime since it's the goal right from the start, so don't worry about it. After both Hanabi and Mugi confess their feelings to respectively Narumi and Akane and obviously get turned down, there was this sharp distinction between the ways how they dealt with it. On one side we have Hanabi, who eventually crawls out of this deadly ravine, learns to deal with the fact that she will never be together with Narumi and moves on. Whilst on the other side we have Mugi, who falls even deeper into this negative spiral, who's almost completely breaking down and almost drags others with him into his fall. And then I'm going to switch to the end of the anime, so the following will be a spoiler of Kuzu no Honkai. So if you haven't watched Kuzu no Honkai yet, which you should, skip to this time point in the video or click the link if I can still put up one. The ending of this anime was, for this anime, perfect. because it was a perfect reflection of the entire anime, and like the first episode, it threw the stereotypes right in the trash can. Because what was the obvious ending to happen here? It would have been that Mugi and Hanabi would for real fall in love with each other, become a couple, and then everything ended happy. And the final episode was going for this ending. Everything pointed to that ending, it pointed in that direction. Everything until the final 20 seconds. But those final 20 seconds blew my mind as hard as the first episode did. Mugi and Hanabi had a choice. They could have gone the easy way, get together and like that try to forget the pain that they feel. But they chose not to do that. They knew that they weren't each other's true love. And those final words of Hanabi were so powerful. We're looking for real love. That's why we continue to live on. That is the freaking essence of romance poured into 2 sentences. There are so many animes out there that show and portray romance in all its floral and happy glory, and that is fine. But now and then there comes an anime that pushes us with our nose right on the facts. Romance isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Romance is hard. Romance is painful. Romance can be the most hateful thing in the world. So I applaud Kuzu no Honkai for its realistic look on romance. I applaud Mengo Yoko Yari, the original mangaka, and I applaud Lerche for yet again making a fantastic adaptation like only they can. Oh, you thought that the hype train was over? Well, you're wrong, because I still have to talk about the ending song Hey Kosen. My god, what a fantastic ending song. I already fell in love with the a cappella start that we hear in the anime, but when the full song came out and I heard the combination of that a cappella voice with the rocking guitars right after it made every part of my body move with excitement. This is without a doubt one of the best ending songs of 2017. I can listen to this song non-stop and I won't get bored of it. Man, I have to stop now or I will get a heart attack. Now I do have 2 negative points to mention about Kuzu no Honkai. The first one is that the lolly character Noriko could have used more time and more development. She does play her role after the rejection, but she could have been more involved into this whole web of intrigues. And the second negative point is that going further in this anime, the intensity dropped slightly. That is because the anime uses the sexual trick multiple times in the anime, and something like that works the first time that you use it. It shakes the world the first time you use it. So at the beginning I was counting down the days till the next episode, but at the end that feeling of anticipation dropped slightly. So as a conclusion, was this review long enough to convince you that I absolutely loved this anime? This anime is unique. Never in my anime career have I seen an anime that deals with the dark side of romance as realistic and as right in your face as Kuzu no Honkai. The combination of a strong, dark storyline, characters that are so extremely realistic, and a perfect end to it all made this a fan-freaking-tastic anime. So overall, I am going to rate Kuzu no Honkai at a very well deserved 4.5 out of 5 stars. Needless to say that this was my anime of the season of winter 2017, and the rest of the year will have to do its damn best to keep Kuzu no Honkai from becoming my seasonal anime of the year. Animes like Kuzu no Honkai are a rarity. Bringing romance at such a mature level is rare in the world of anime. Animes I will recommend that also had this mature romance theme would be Saikano, Bokura Gaita, both the F animes, Rumbling Hearts and Orange. Each of them implements different facets into its story, but overall all of them displayed romance in a very mature way. And if I may give one super recommendation, then it would be Orange. Because Orange also dealt with topics that are, let's say, socially difficult. Orange was one of my favorite animes of 2016 from last year, so go give it a watch. And with that I conclude my review of Kuzu no Honkai. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now, if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. Then I will say, arigatou gozaimasu, and I will see you all in the next video.